Briefly, let me talk about myself first. As Anshav mentioned, I've been a hardcore sales guy into operations for almost more than 30 years. I worked across various companies, including Levers, Parleys, Xerox, Coca-Cola, Airtel, Aircel, Reliance. I've been posted India, abroad as well, in the Asian countries. Now, having completed, one stint of my career in terms of the job, I'm today on my own, and I run a small company called Madan Bajpai and Associates, basically into training and consulting. I think one of the key things that I really wanted to talk about, in the forum today, was tap your inner gold mine. Now, what it exactly means is that my firm belief with my experience is that the most important thing to realize in life is your own potential. If you're able to realize that, then I think in any field or any area that you work, you can do your best, both in terms of your professional and personal life. So I would like to divide this into 5 points. To start with, the first stage of tapping your inner gold mine is to first accepting yourself as you are. Now, what I mean by accepting yourself is the ownership of wherever, whatever, whoever I am today is only because of me. It is not because of anybody else. I cannot blame it on my parents, my background, my village, upbringing, or my city upbringing, or whatever. I have to first say that whatever has happened to me has been because of my choices of life, and hence I own up wherever I stand today. In fact, whatever stage I am today. So that acceptance, I think, is the first beginning point of knowing that you have, your own self to take responsibility of where you are. Now, to expand that a little further, what I can really talk about is that we normally get into this blame game of saying that somebody else is doing better in life because he had more opportunities. So if I once get all that off, take a small example of somebody known as, in fact, Viktor Frankl, to just give you an example. This was a Jew guy who was, caught up in the German war in World War II. And he stayed in the concentration camp for almost 1.5, 2 years. He lost all his family members, including his wife. But the guy, when he was caned and beaten and tortured by the army, he used to always think that I have a choice whether I should blame them or accept this as a part of life which I'm learning through hardships. If I survive, I can tomorrow share with the world that even in hardships like this, you can keep your mind positive and think about the good things that God has left for you or God has given you. And when you are able to escape this torture, you are able to share to the world what is important. How do you keep your mind positive? So that kind of a situation, when people like him and so many other examples that you may have, who have sustained most difficult times in life, but have remained positive by choices in their mind and thoughts, I think that's something which one should learn from. So what I would say is that, first of all, say whatever I am today for because of myself. Whatever I'll be tomorrow will depend on the choices that I make every day, in every time and situation that I get across. Because everybody gets two choices always in life. One is to accept what you think is not right, and one which you think is right, but you find it difficult to accept. As your choice whether you want to accept the conscience thing which is right, or to in fact succumb to pressures and in situations and blame boss or blame anybody else. So first is own that. The second point is try and look back at yourself and identify your core. Everybody who is born on this earth has got some core strengths. Now, those core strengths have to be identified. It's not very easy to do that, but if you reflect on yourself and go back in life from your childhood or your time that you can remember, you will find moments of joy in various activities that you have done. And if you really focus a little deeper and bring sharp those memories, you'll be able to really identify some of the key strengths that you have. It could be any hobby. It could be painting, it could be singing, it could be dancing, it could be speaking, it could be oratory, it could be anything. So in fact, what I was saying is that you need to identify your core strengths. And for that, you need to really reflect on all moments of joy that you have had in life, that you have gone through till now, with the sharper memories of what you have enjoyed. From there, you can pick up some of the strengths that you have, which is known best to you. That if I'm able to look through and identify my core, then I know those are the strengths that I have. Whether I may be working in a job where those core strengths may not be used, but it is still important to keep those core strengths alive in mind, and always try and find some time to, refresh and work on the core, be it anything, singing or dancing, as I said, or, in oratory, or, anything that we enjoy. I think that should be kept in mind to keep the core alive. The third part I would say is always paint a picture, or, imagine a picture of success, or imagine a picture of great happiness for you, and always see a very sharp picture, maybe in a time frame of maybe 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, whatever you want, and draw a map or a road plan so that you can start working towards that core strength of yours and building on it by having a roadmap. It could be a small start, but at least devote some time every day towards that strength that you have, in trying and refreshing that and building more on that. So I think, it's extremely important to keep that flame alive in you, whether you are currently able to do it in your job or not. Keep that alive, and moment you get an opportunity where you match your own core strength with what you're trying to do, I think that is the peak of your career. That's the peak of your happiness and success. So that should be kept in mind. For example, to just give you a very small example, many times it is said what is important and what is urgent. We are not able to differentiate. See, unless you prioritize that, but many times we think that a WhatsApp message or an email that comes in is very urgent and needs to be answered immediately. And when we are asked about what's important in life, we always answer health, we always answer relationship, we always say if we're reading good books, gaining knowledge. But if I ask you today, what is the time that you spent on any of the good things that you really mean in life, you will find you hardly have spent any time. So reprioritize and put those things which are important in life as urgent, and not all the frugal things that you think are. In fact, what I'm saying is that if you're able to prioritize your time and divide it into what's urgent and what's important, if you draw a matrix and see, most of the time what we say is important in life, like, for example, we talk about health important for life, relationship important for life, reading good books important for life, so many other things that we talk as important for life. And if we look at what we actually end up doing every day, is trying to prioritize on urgent things which are not that urgent, like sending WhatsApp messages or reading social media, or trying to just waste time gossiping around. If you can really prioritize that and shift your time to at least 40%, or at least to begin with 30% of your time every day to what you really feel is important in life, as you said about health, as you said about relationship, as you said about reading good books, as you said about keeping in touch with your parents, etc. The moment you make the shift, you will find you have enough time, and you find important things in life are actually getting trained, and you're practicing it. So if you paint the right picture and you move towards it slowly, beginning today, giving some time to it, I think there will be a clear, distinct light at the end of the tunnel. Once you have understood the core and started working towards the core and prioritize yourself, you need to have consistency. Pick up 2 or 3 things out of them and focus completely on them. Do not deviate. Be hard on them, keep on them, and you will gradually find you become an expert. The whole system will start responding to your practice and consistency on daily basis to begin with today. In a matter of 21 days, I assure you, you will find your whole system is including your body, mind, everything, spirit, soul, whatever you call it. So what I would say is build consistency and become an expert in the core that you're talking of slowly and gradually. And the last and most important part is to refresh yourself. Always keep yourself updated in the area, field of work that you're doing. Read, refresh, update on IT, anything that's coming up new in the field. At the same time, keep refreshed yourself in terms of your body and mind, which is through consistent exercise, good diet, good food, so that your body is, always feeling good, and light and healthy, and you are positive in your mind. Get close to nature once, and and be close to nature in between to realize what God has created for us, and have great faith and great belief in the superpower that we all are created of. I think that itself will keep you always in high spirits, in great strength, in great positive mind. So I think if you are able to follow these few things as a person, you change your life forever. And then whatever function you are into, if I talk of sales marketing, I can give you a separate complete deliberation on details of sales marketing and how you can be a great success. But I would say a preamble to any field of, in fact, functioning or work. What I mentioned now, if you're able to have this, to just have complete ownership, self-acceptance, responsibility of where and what you are, make your choices tomorrow to be much better, identify your core and keep them alive, whether you're using it now or not, refresh them. Imagine a picture of success and happiness using your core. Prioritize your time and spend more time on important things in life rather than frugal things, so that you are able to devote and build on that. And practice 2 to 3 things: hardcore with consistency on daily basis, and hard practice that will make you an expert. And last and not least at all is refresh yourself with current knowledge, update yourself, keep you abreast with what's happening around in that field and in general, and recharge yourself with great belief in God, who is the creator, and be in touch with nature. Keep your body, mind, and spirit healthy. This is what I had to say in the opening talk. Thank you very much.